Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan Sutton, and I'm the author of Take Back What the Devil Has Stolen from You. Whenever you get the chance, please click on the links below, and it will greatly, greatly bless your life there. And I just want to get up here on a podcast and talk about eBay today, right? So it's just something currently that I had someone in my household experience. I also experienced it as well, but y'all, it's like these eBay policies are just getting ridiculous, getting out of control, and it's basically discouraging a lot of long time sellers. It's like it's just putting them in a situation where they're questioning should they continue to sell up there anymore. But anyways, let me just give you a little bit of background. So I had an account with eBay since 2017. Now that hasn't been that long, but you know, it's long enough for me, right? I didn't actually start to sell on the platform until probably 2019. When I started to sell some of the Bath and Body Works candles that I had, brand new, I realized those sold very quickly. So anytime I had Bath and Body Works, I also sold some glue guns, a glue gun and a glue stick, and some glue sticks that came with it. Now it's stuff that, again, stuff that you would not even imagine would have probably sold. You never know who wants it, you know? So again, I sold that. And listen, I'm not gonna go down the list but everything that I sold, but my first product that I actually sold was like a Sega Genesis game that I gotten for Christmas one time from Roses. And it wasn't the original Sega Genesis, but it was kind of like the new model of it. I guess they made a newer model of it. And I was like, why not? This thing was $50 when I went to Roses. Nice little Sega Genesis where they had already in some, I think 50 games or 75 games already built and included. And I had no idea again about how to sell on eBay. This was my first time. I wasn't really sure on really what to do. Now they got self-help, self-guidance, I guess. When it comes down to the website, the self-assistant guidelines and how you can basically, it'll tell you how to do some things. But again, I looked at some YouTube videos also just to see anyone else as a new seller, see how they went through it, what was the process, because I was very nervous. So anyways, y'all, excuse me if this podcast is extremely loud. um I'm not sure why when I do podcasts the volume is super high, so if it's like blasting up your ears or anything like that, yeah, that's my disclaimer. Maybe I should have put the disclaimer before. Just turn it down some. Just turn it down till I figure out what's going on with the sound. Because I know a lot of times when I'm listening to myself on these podcasts, I notice that the volume is super high, especially when I'm editing the video. And it's just like, well, I wonder, is it just my phone device? What can I do with it? But anyways. So anyway, about the eBay situation. So anyways, I've been selling up there since 2019. Um, Again, I'm not like a seller where I got a store or anything like that. It's just little things around the house. Anything that I see that might can um that looks like it could be brought, or something that someone may be interested in, I'll put it up there. I done sold some DVDs. You name it. You name it. So sold a few items up there. It was all good. When I first got started, only thing you needed was an email, far as with payouts, because it was linked to PayPal. So if you had a PayPal account, they'll just send it to that PayPal, and you got your money instantly when the customer or the buyer brought it. So I like how they had that set up. And I think they took out fees for maybe like an instant transfer or something like that, but them fees weren't really that much at that time. But now, but now, ever since they switched over to the bank account situation where they want you to link a bank account, instead they made it sound like payouts was going to also be instant, but actually the payouts are within 1 to 3 business days. So it's kind of like, uh, that's all right, that's okay, 1 to 3 business days. But I like the express method that they had before, which was the PayPal. So I remember I was trying to look into my settings and seeing how I could get it linked back to PayPal, but there was no possible way. The only way something could be linked to PayPal is if you're actually just setting up, if you want to pay, you want to set up as a payment method, but as a way to be paid directly into your account, you couldn't use PayPal anymore. Someone said that they severed their relationship with PayPal, and I'm thinking that's what happened. But anyways, y'all. So I remember, so I think not too long ago last year, I kept getting emails from eBay. It was like, I think since the company's in California, they run on Pacific time. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. They run on Pacific time, standard time. So on East Coast, I think that's like we're 4 hours ahead. So they'll email me like 6 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, and they would email me 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, one of those times, and say that we cannot verify your identity. I'm like, what? I said, now I've been a seller. I got feedback. I pretty much have made myself somewhat established. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't got a store. I'm not a big time seller. I'm just somebody that sells things around the house, time to time. Okay, so, but it should have been known that my identity was already established, and plus all of the deliveries I had were successful, was very successful. But anyways, they wanted me to submit in this documentation. They wanted me to submit in this for verification, and I did like 3 times. I think they wanted me to upload my driver's license, ID, and was there anything else? I think that's what they wanted me to upload. So I uploaded like 3 times. It was like not legible, not legible. I'm like, how? It's colored, it's blowed up, it's clear. I did it 3 times. So the third time, right? I said, here you go. Said not uploading this anymore. I don't know if I was talking to a bot or a real person, right? But I didn't really care. I just said, this is it. I said, here's the information. I'm so sorry if it's not good enough for you. It's good enough for the IRS. It should be good enough for you too. Please stop emailing me these messages at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning about the same stuff. And is there anyone else that I can speak to that's higher up? Because I need to actually talk to them about this a little bit more, because this messaging thing seems like it's not effective enough. So if you can you escalate me to someone else that can basically handle the problem, because we're not basically getting anywhere with this situation with you not being able to verify my identity, even though it's clear. And my phone take good pictures. Most of these phones these days that they make take real good pictures. But anyways, long story short, I got an email the next day saying that you're verified and your identity is being confirmed. So after all of that, so then forward back here to 2022, right? I told my sister, because she was selling on Mercury, and I was like, you know what? Try to sell on eBay. Look, me not knowing how strict eBay has gotten over the years, I was like, try it on eBay. I had good experiences with them. Besides that, verify my identity, miss. But you'll be able to get your money instead of waiting for the buyer to get their product or material, whatever it is that they purchase. You'll be able to get your money already, even though they're not with PayPal. So anyway, she puts her product up there. She's basically was selling like an iPhone. Yeah, I know Apple products sell pretty good over there too as well. It was an iPhone 8 SE, and it had 256 gigabytes. Still a pretty good phone. Everything intact. Everything looked nice. So I helped her, package it up, ship it, all of that stuff. So anyway, since she's a new seller, they basically already put her payout on hold because she's new. And I guess they're doing that to kind of like crack down on fraud, or they're trying to crack down on, I guess, yeah, fraud. I would just say also with identity theft and et cetera, et cetera. But in a way, it's messing up innocent sellers, and you're putting them in a crossfire, and you're putting them in an unpredictable, situation where it's like they need their money. It's basically kind of like a crime that you holding their money, and they provided this service. They provided this service. Everything was successfully delivered, and then you're still choosing to hold on to their money. And I was reading some comments up there saying, yeah, eBay collects interest. The longer it stays, the longer they put their payout on hold, they actually collect interest on that money. And so the problem and the issue was she sold a product. Everything was fine. The person got their phone, and they still was trying to hold the money. And the reason why they said it was because she actually had a Chime account. She was trying to link that, but it would not allow her to link Chime. It would not allow her to link her Chime. It would not allow her to link her Cash App. And I said, wow, this is ridiculous. I said, I had an AC leak, and they allowed me to do it. But I didn't know how much things changed within that time, because I guess they're actually looking for actual banking accounts. But, I didn't think that that was really fair. So she kept trying to link, because Chime is up there actually. And I looked everywhere, on all the community platforms with eBay. I looked at all the threads, and no one seemed to have. I even saw some YouTube videos where people were saying their payout was being held, and one guy, he had no choice, because eBay support isn't no help, and they are not. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. I guess I'm just walking and I'm talking super super fast, but they were not any help. I chatted with about two or three, four people. They didn't know why eBay didn't want to accept her Chime account. Also, I mean, no one had any answers. We tried to call, that was a dead end. They tried to lead us back to the website with self help. But she did get on the phone with one representative. One representative said, well, those are not really actual bank accounts, but on their website, when you're trying to link it, they did have Chime up there. So it was just a complete huge mess. And I'm like, okay, what do other people do? So I'm looking for the solutions, and I'm trying to see if anyone else went through this before. The people that I seen, actually, the threads were either closed down because they were older. But even with reading the threads on the eBay community board, some of them is like, it's like nothing never got solved. They were still waiting for months and months and months for eBay to fix the issue. And they always would say that eBay was escalating the situation, but nothing would happen. I even seen this guy on YouTube where he was told and recommended to open up about 4 different bank accounts, and they still wasn't willing to accept. I mean, they still wasn't willing to accept his bank, and so he had no choice but to go to the Better Business Bureau. And he said after they done got through investigating and doing what they needed to do, they end up giving him his payout. Now, they didn't give him all his payout that was up in the account, but he was willing to settle, I guess, and willing to compromise with it. So he said that he had to basically get the Better Business Bureau involved. So, woo, y'all, I don't even know. So I was like, okay, that's our last option. That's our last step. Actually calling and contacting the Better Business Bureau to have them look into it. And then everyone else threads that I saw, it's like they were still waiting for months and months and months. So I saw this thread on Reddit, right, about this particular topic, and someone said, okay, this may not be popular, this may not be what you want to do, but if you can, and if you just need your money to go somewhere real quickly where they can accept it, yes, you would probably have to start another account, but do a quick online account. Get set up, get a checking account with Discover, or also get a checking account with Capital One Banking 360. No minimum balance. You don't have to worry about, and they'll process your payment, and they'll put it in that bank account. And listen, you can always feel free to just to close it down. You can find some way to transfer that money. And I get it, how inconvenient it is for you to start another account. But that's basically what my sister had to do, because we put in that Chime information 1,000 times. They did not take it. They did not accept it. It did not recognize it. It kept saying payout is on hold until, they gave us a red notification. So the solution that we came up with, rather than wait for months and months and months and months and months and months at a time, like I saw what other people were doing in the threads, and before I decided that we was gonna go to the Better Business Bureau, The solution I had was basically go ahead and open up a checking account with Capital One 360. It's free, no minimum balance, and no distinct sponsor. And link it. Go to where I think it's this thing called Trustly or something like that, where you can sign in, you got create an account with Capital One 360 and create a username and a password. But this is after they already basically approved you for the account. It takes nothing but 5 minutes to set up. And then after that, what you'll do is you'll go back to eBay, you'll go back to your payment section. Oh, y'all should got me some water. Hold on real quick. I gotta get me some water. Because I just been, it's been 15 minutes. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah, quick water break. What B-Lug used to say, water break. So, anyways, when you get the chance, after you're approved, it takes just 5 minutes. Only thing they're gonna basically ask you is personal information, your name, your date of birth, social, um, are you employed or not? And I don't think it matters whether you are employed or not. You can still get it even putting unemployed or no income. But I just put in employed, and then they'll have you choose something off the list where what type of, if you are employed, what kind of occupation are you doing? They'll have a category where you can choose. You select that. Then after that, you are basically green. You put the check for that you agree with the terms, and then after that they'll process it and they'll let you know probably less than a minute. So, and plus I don't think it affects your credit, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It shouldn't. And so anyways, once you get that set up, which doesn't take no more than 5 minutes, go back to eBay, go back on your payments, try to link it, then put in that account number and routing number that Capital One's going to give you. They're going to send you a card within 3 to 5 business days. They're going to also provide tracking also as well once they go ahead and start creating the card and once they get ready to ship it out to you. And they'll let you know the date that it should arrive by. But honestly, guys, this method was better than waiting 2, 3, 4, 6 months to a year for them to figure this out. And I think if they don't accept chime, then I think they need to go ahead and remove it off. And we was even trying to do it with the Cash App because Cash App is through Sutton Bank. Even though you go on Sutton Bank's website, they say that they're not affiliated necessarily with Square. Anything dealing with Cash App in itself, you have to basically reach out to Cash App and support because we was gonna link it to Sutton Bank, but since since it was kind of tricky on whether or not that bank actually claimed Cash App as you, and I know I'm putting it in a funny way. Since they kept saying it was different, I just didn't want to take that risk. So, but yeah, we put in the Cash App stuff at one time, the account number, routing number, and then they did recognize it as Sutton Bank. Then after that, we hit confirm, but it will still give us that red message of payouts are on hold until you're able to verify account. So my thing is, why would they allow you to sell something up there and wait till you get ready to sell it? Wait till you get ready to ship the stuff off. Have you doing all of this, and then to tell you at the end, we're gonna hold you, we're gonna hold it. There has to be a different way and a better way, eBay. And then y'all need to also work on y'all support. I know y'all don't want nobody on the phones, and then when we are chatting with people, it's like they're not knowledgeable any of this stuff. It's like, what's going on with the training? Is there a training program for eBay associates and for support? Because it needs to be some better training. It needs to be some better training. So, anyways, y'all, made this video real lengthy, made it real long, but eBay definitely does need to do better. I done seen people with videos come on the phone with an actual associate. The associate was talking in circles, couldn't help him. The man said he was a long-term seller since 2006, and they were still trying to confirm his identity, but he done sent in all the documentation, but they still was not willing to give them the money. I think at that point you need to go ahead and get the Better Business Bureau involved. And I know nobody want to so-called go through all that, but hey, that's your money. That money belongs to you. After eBay take their fees out and their listing fee or whatever they might take out, or their seller's fee, whatever it is, that's your money. So you got to kind of look at it like that as well. Like, so that's basically what I did with this. This is how I found the solution. And I know, like I said, you shouldn't have to open up another bank account, but I found it on a Reddit thread where they say open up a Discover account, checking account. Now, at the time, Discover is not accepting applications, I guess, just due to, I guess they had like a lot of cashback rewards and a lot of extra benefits. But hey, since they were closed down at the time, or not, excuse me, or not accepting applications, what you can do is actually just do Capital One checking 360. You can go over there, they'll after you approve, and you ain't got to have no good credit for this. I don't think you got to have no good credit. I think that might be a question that might pop up in the future if somebody stumbled upon it. I don't think they. Matter of fact, my sister and them, they ain't got no credit yet. You know what I'm saying? They're way younger than I am, and they kind of just get started. So they don't even have any credit. But I don't think it matters what kind of credit you got. You know what I'm saying? I think you're still able to get it. You know, so it wouldn't hurt. It's better than waiting 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, like I saw in them threads, and they end up closing, and then just running around trying to see anybody find a solution. So we end up getting Capital One 360 banking. If you're having issues with payout and you just need them to release that payout, go ahead and start and open that checking account real quick. And listen, the great thing about it is you can always close it down. Find a way, once you accept it, once you get your card, find a way to transfer it to your real bank, the one that you already have, and you're able to close that account. You're able to close that checking account down. All you got to do is just call that customer service number and just remember, you're just trying to get them to release your payout. And it's much easier if you can go into the payment setting and do it through don't do it the manual way, because they'll probably ask for extra documentation. Go ahead and just sign in. Use that Trustly section. I wish I had it in front of me right now, but use the Trustly way where you're able to sign into your bank account, put in your username, password you created, and then they'll be able to verify like that. And then boom, before you know it, the next day, actually didn't even take the next day, that notification was moved off, and then they end up sending her payout the next day. And remember, you can always close down this account. I don't think it's based off credit or anything like that. It's absolutely free. No charges, no minimum balance to keep in, nothing to pay. You don't have to pay to keep it, to pay a fee to get it open. I think it's the most convenient that you can, basically the most convenient thing that you could possibly do. Sorry, y'all, I know I'm getting thirsty again. So, talk 23 minutes and some change. So, I'm going to get ready to go. But if eBay's giving you a hard time with your payouts and they're talking about they can't verify your bank, they don't recognize your bank, I would say just do what I just stated temporarily. Open you a Capital One 360 checking account. And like I said, Discover was also listed up there on the Reddit thread, which was very helpful. But since they're not currently at the time of October 30th of 2022 taking in new applications until they get whatever it is they basically get set up for, whatever they're preparing for, we had to do the Capital One 360 checking account. So anyways, y'all, I'm out. That's what helped me. That's what helped my sister get her payout within the next day. And hopefully it'll be able to help you too. So again, remember that the best is yet to come. Click on the links below. And remember that, again, the best is yet to come. I cannot keep saying this enough. Until next time, God bless.